I'm Lauren De Silva, and I wanted to share a simple ritual that you can do with rose quartz to enhance your feelings of self-worth and self-esteem. And I think it's really important for all of us to learn to love ourselves. We project out into the world the feelings we have about ourselves, and if we're projecting out self-criticism, self-loathing, and really have a downer on ourselves, then you can imagine what kind of relationships we're likely to attract back. When we actually find love and compassion and empathy for ourselves, and we recognize our good qualities, I think we're much more likely to attract love into our lives, and much more likely to find a partner, if you want a partner, that will be loving back to you. It's the law of attraction. We tend to get back what we put out there. The universe is often like a mirror to us. And even if you don't want a partner, do you know what? This is your primary relationship. Your relationship with yourself. Make it a loving one, make it a kind one, make it a generous one. So we're going to use rose quartz. Rose quartz is the archetypal stone of love. It's the one everybody thinks of when they're thinking of love and crystals. And there is an ancient Greek myth about rose quartz that's all about love. So you've probably heard of the goddess Aphrodite, goddess of beauty, goddess of love. She had many lovers. She was an amorous and sensual goddess, and she was having a particularly passionate and loving relationship with Adonis. And you may have heard of him too. He was an extremely handsome mortal man, and they really did love each other. So much so that the god of war, Ares, became jealous. And in his jealousy, he wounded Adonis mortally. And as Adonis lay there dying, he let out a cry, his dying cry, and Aphrodite heard him, and she came rushing to be beside her lover, and in her haste she scratched herself on a rose, on the thorn of a rose. And the blood from the goddess, this divine blood, mingled with the blood of the dying Adonis and fell on white quartz, and it stained the white quartz pink, and that's how we got rose quartz. Now it has got a sort of a happier ending. It sounds terribly tragic, but the god Zeus was looking down from Mount Olympus, and he took pity on the lovers, and he granted Adonis 6 months of every year to be in his relationship with Aphrodite. So he was given a kind of an immortality of his own, because their love was so passionate and true, and it touched Zeus's heart. Back to rose quartz. It is a hardness of 7, which means you can wash it. It's pretty sturdy. So make sure you're using a piece of washed, cleansed rose quartz to do this exercise with. You don't want to do it with a dirty piece. And what you're going to do is have the rose quartz. You also want a square of fabric. I happen to have some pink satin fabric, which is ideal. It can be any colour. You don't have to have pink, and it doesn't have to be satin. You will also want a piece of ribbon. It happens that the piece of ribbon I have in my house to hand is blue ribbon. You could have matching pink. It could, again, be any colour you want. It could be satin, it could be velvet, what you fancy using or what you have to hand. The piece of fabric needs to be big enough that it can wrap the rose quartz. You're going to be making a bundle of your rose quartz when you've done the ritual. And the ribbon needs to be able to tie around the bundle and create a hanging loop. So you'll also want a journal or paper, but preferably a journal, because it would be nice to keep this, and a pen. And you're going to be writing a list. and I have written one earlier, so you don't have to watch me thinking of things. You're going to write a sentence stem first using your name. So mine reads, I am Lauren and I am ... You'll say your name, you won't say Lauren, obviously. And then you're going to make a list of good qualities that you have, even if they're only a little bit at the moment, even if you only get a glimpse of them sometimes, because actually the more you dwell on your good qualities, the more they grow in you, the more you acknowledge them, the stronger they become. So all the good qualities you can think of, make as long a list as you can think of. So I've got things like kind, thoughtful, intelligent, spiritual, worthy, grateful, loved and loving. Once you've got your list, and I've got more than that, by the way, that's not it, there's loads more. Once you've got your list down, then you're ready to begin. Now that list may not be your final list. You may think of other things later. That's okay. You're going to be able to repeat the ritual and add more in, which is why I said it's quite nice to have it in a notebook or journal, so you can carry on adding to the list and making this better and better for yourself. These are positive affirmations about yourself. So once you have a list and you can't think of anything else for the moment, you get your rose quartz, you hold it in both hands, you look at your list, you say your sentence stem before each of the words you chose. So I am Lauren and I am kind. Okay, get that feeling that goes with that statement and put it into your rose quartz. You're imagining it flowing into your rose quartz crystal. And then when you've done that, go to the next one. I am Lauren and I am thoughtful. And again, really feel that energy going in there. Keep going. I am Lauren and I am grateful. Go all the way through your list, putting all of those good qualities about yourself in the rose quartz, okay? They don't come out of you, they're still in you, but they will also be shared with the rose quartz. The rose quartz will pick up on those loving and positive vibrations that you're putting into it. And then when you have done that, you get your piece of fabric, you wrap your rose quartz, making a little bundle, and then you tie your ribbon around the neck to secure it. There we are. Tie it tight, but don't tie it so tight that you can never undo it, because if you think of more positive qualities, you can put those into the rose quartz too. And then you're going to make a hanging loop. And you can hang this over your bedpost or on your dressing table. Or if you make a really long ribbon, you could even wear your rose quartz. That would be nice. Wear it so that it actually hangs over your heart chakra. That would be a lovely thing to do. Or if you don't want it on display, you could put it in your knicker drawer or somewhere else that's private to you. And pick it up regularly, especially if you're having a day where you're feeling a bit harder on yourself, or you're being self-critical. Perhaps you said something you didn't mean, you upset someone, or just feel like you've let yourself down in some way. Come back to your list, come back to your rose quartz, hold your rose quartz. Remember, you have got a lot of good qualities. You're resetting yourself, realigning with the positive. And hopefully you'll find that is a real boost to your self-esteem. So I hope you enjoyed that ritual. You can always follow on by giving yourself another piece of rose quartz, not this one, another piece of rose quartz, and have a rose quartz bath, have an Aphrodite bath. Candle on, rose quartz in the water, in your bath water. Maybe if you like essential oils and you know your skin's okay with them, a few drops of geranium or rose essential oil if you have it. Really luxuriate in those good feelings. I hope you'll enjoy that, and I'll see you again soon.